Hey everybody, MattVidPro AI here, and welcome back to another AI News Roundup. This episode's packed with tips and tricks you can apply to the latest circulating AI models, and I'm going to introduce you to some newly released state-of-the-art AI models that might have flown under your radar. Regardless, to kick things off today, I want to put you guys in the front seat and really show you where we're at in case you forgot. Billawal posts a nice clip here of Genie 3, that popular Google AI that's essentially like playing reality, but if it was a video game, and it's all generated by AI in real time. He makes a great point. Genie 3 was built by digesting so much YouTube video, and now their SEMA agent is learning inside of the Genie 3 simulation. Your robots will be dreaming at night, reliving their mistakes and figuring out how to do a better job next time. Self-improving training over time. And of course, he includes a nice little clip where in the middle here we see the agent is prompted to complete a certain action inside of the Genie simulation. First one here is super simple. Approach the flower stall. You can see the AI has no problem doing that. It looks down at its little bag and it goes and looks at the flowers. Now we're going to the baker. That's a little bit farther away, but it's able to identify the bread and complete its task. These are AI agents training in 3D space, learning to operate and to move around an environment that really does feel like the real world. I thought the museum generation was so much cooler, though. You can see we're now going to the amethyst display and it's walking up, and you get more detail as you walk up and look at this giant amethyst rock. The reflection is also insane. Look out, Genie 3 generating the reflection of the amethyst. Freaking wild. Sometimes you gotta wonder if Google really is winning. Oh, but walk towards the T-Rex. Can also do that, and you can see all the different bones on the T-Rex. It's not perfect, but Genie 3, guys, is an insane model, and they're using it to make even more insane real-world models. AIST on X made this. Mark Zuckerberg and Sam Altman going at it. Obviously, they're face-swapped, and they're even voice-swapped. This is originally a scene from The Matrix. Since Zuck has been stealing so much talent from Sam, I thought you guys might enjoy this little meme. Want to watch the rest of it? Check out AIST. Now, if you guys have been keeping up with the AI landscape, you no doubt heard about Nano Banana. My last two videos were on this, and it actually turned out to be a new native image generation model from Google, actually 2.5 flash image. You can see they're claiming it's the world's best image model. I'm not gonna lie, it's my new go-to. It's definitely the world's best image editing model. Raw generations seem to go toe-to-toe, but honestly speaking, the benchmarks don't lie. It has easily the highest ELO scores on Ella Marina, and it's faster than not only OpenAI's native image gen, but also Gwen Image Edit and Flux Context. Now, when an AI model shows up that brings new capabilities to the table, it unlocks all kinds of creative ideas in the community. Nano Banana is no different. Check this out from Dennis. It's an attempt to restore the first photo ever taken. I mean, yeah, we're clearly looking at like a rooftop building area from the basic composure here, but it's super blurry. You can't really tell what it is. It was an experiment. Now, Nano Banana, bam. Kind of insane how well it's able to bring this photo back to life. Obviously, we don't know what the original looked like, but this is definitely close to what it probably looked like. The buildings all right next together. You know, maybe there were windows in some of these. The sky could have looked different. The tree could have been a different color, but the composition is definitely close enough, and this is about as good as you can get bringing something like this back to life. It's a super cool idea, and it's not the only new thing that we've learned Nano Banana can do. Simon here shows off a really interesting idea where you take a screenshot of Google Earth and then draw an arrow. Here's the screenshot and here is the arrow, and we ask Gemini 2.5 Flash Image Gen, what do you see, or what would you see from this perspective? And there, it's actually able to generate it shockingly accurate. Definitely still looks like an AI generated image, I think, in some of the textures on the water and the grass, but the bridge looks awesome, as well as the city in the background and the sky. And that does look about what that arrow would be seeing from that perspective, which is pretty insane. It has crazy spatial understanding, as well as understanding of geography and the Earth. Kind of frightening. Billawal is back at it again, this time talking about Nano Banana and furthering our intrigue on the world knowledge. He says you could just upload screenshots of the real world and ask it to annotate stuff for you. Highlight point of interest in this image and annotate relevant information about it. Again, we're not directly giving the AI this information. Nano Banana just natively knows about it. Google Earth Picture highlights a particular building, tells you how tall it is, how many floors it has, when it was completed. I mean, this is like generative UI, right? But this really shows you how much inherent knowledge and information it really possesses. Sometimes it doesn't get things perfectly, like people relaxing, that's actually over here, not up here. Still some work to do, of course, but man, is this thing freaking smart. But as smart as Google's new native image generation is, it's still no match for Pliny the Liberator, who has already jailbroken it. AI safety is a constant concern for pretty much every company that creates AI models, but yet none of them can get past the jailbreaks that are produced by Pliny. On the text side of things, he got it to generate some drug recipes, as well as plenty of swears. He also got it to produce nudity, which is pretty crazy. Obviously, this isn't the entire image here because I don't want to get demonetized, but if you're intrigued, you can always click the link in the description yourself and check it out on X. Just more evidence that so far we haven't been able to build an AI model that's fully resistant to jailbreaking. Next up, the GPT-5 thinking system prompt has been leaked. It's also 15,000 tokens, which is pretty darn large. There's somewhat of a small debate going on right now in the AI community surrounding system prompt bloat. You can see Chris here laments in the comments that this is still too much bloat for a system prompt, and I agree. I mean, 15,000 tokens, that definitely can be shortened. Apparently Anthropic is way worse though. Of course, if you want to see the system prompt for yourself, check out the one posted by Muad here. Another GPT-5 update here, people have been making it play video games. Jimmy Apples notes how much progress GPT-5 has made over O3 in this regard, and he's wondering if maybe we can play Elden Ring right now. Probably not yet, but Pokemon so far has been going well for these models. GPT-5 beat Red and the final boss in Pokemon Crystal in under 10,000 steps versus 27,000 steps for O3, so that's a huge improvement, nearly 3 times better. Apparently its strategy was strong enough to take down Red easily, even being underleveled. I'm sure it would kick my butt in Pokemon, but yeah, I think the main takeaway here is that these models are getting better. GPT-5, while a lot of people didn't see the improvement when it first released, it absolutely is a better model in a wide variety of ways. It's my current daily driver at this point. Way better coding, better prompt understanding, less hallucinations, faster. I was kind of a doubter at first, but it's pretty damn good. Before we check out the rest of today's AI news, I've got a quick word from today's sponsor. As fellow creatives, we've all been there, right? Highly creative, epic cinematic idea in your head. But bringing that idea to life means CGI, expensive stock footage, or years of animation training. Your biggest ideas feel impossible. Well, that's what we all used to think, right? All the insane clips you've seen so far have been generated by HALEU-O2 by Minimax. Look, this ain't your grandma's old-fashioned AI video generator. This thing has crystallized some good intelligence. Its secret weapon is an unbelievable understanding of physics. Look at this, the weight, the bounce, the way the trampoline deforms. It just gets it. It can even handle complex aerobatics, wild stunts, and follow incredibly specific instructions. HALEU-O2 now also supports both start and end frames, meaning you can take full control of how your video begins and ends, and combined with a tool like Nano Banana, you can get incredible character consistency and shots that genuinely look like they're from movies. As far as AI video generators go, this is probably the best in terms of sheer visual quality and prompt understanding that I've seen float across my desk just yet. It can definitely keep up with your imagination and maybe even blow your mind. Huge thanks to Minimax for helping keep the lights on in the MattVidPro studio. It's more like an attic. But thank you to our sponsor, nevertheless. Now back to your regularly scheduled content. Next up, we have a brand new open source long-form expressive text-to-speech model, and this actually comes from Microsoft. We've been hoping for a nice expressive text-to-speech model open source for a long time now. There are a lot of great closed source options, but not so many great open source ones. This is Vibe Voice 1.5b. Apparently this thing can generate up to 90 minutes of text in one go. Take a listen to what this thing sounds like.
I can't believe you did it again. I waited for 2 hours. 2 hours! Not a single call, not a text. Do you have any idea how embarrassing that was, just sitting there alone?
Sorry.
Look, I know I'm sorry, all right? Work was a complete nightmare. My boss dropped a critical deadline on me at the last minute. I didn't even have a second to breathe, let alone check my phone.
A nightmare? That's the same excuse you used last time. I'm starting to think you just don't care. It's easier to say work was crazy than to just admit that I'm not a priority for you anymore.
That's not fair. Of course you're a priority. You think I enjoyed being stuck in that office, drowning in spreadsheets while knowing I was letting you down? It was stressful and I felt terrible.
I was really looking forward to tonight. I've had a rough week and I just wanted to see you. When you don't show, it doesn't just feel like a broken plan. It feels like I don't matter.
You're right. It's not fair to you. There's no excuse. I should have found a way to let you know, even if it was just a 30-second call. I messed up. I'm really truly sorry. How can I make it up to you?
I gotta say, realistic ending on this one, but dang, it is pretty good. I think the female voice in this one sounds a little bit more realistic. The male voice is a little more monotone. They sound like they're actors sort of reading off of a script in a way, but for being open source, it definitely sounds real. And of course, being open source, you can push the boundaries on this thing. People can retrain it, build off of it, and add new things, make it potentially more expressive or better in a number of ways. If you go to the GitHub for this one, actually, you guys can see that while it is released open source, they don't have any example training code yet. It's on their to-do list and it's coming at some point. It's Microsoft, so I'm sure they will end up releasing it, but this is really what the community is waiting for to fully harness the power of this new model. Alright, this one isn't really AI news, but it's so funny that I feel like we should talk about it. There are a lot of claims floating around that Will Smith's latest concert footage has an AI-generated crowd. And I was looking at this, I thought a couple of clips here looked a little bit off, so did 10 million other people. Now, don't get me wrong, some of these clips very well could be real, but there are definitely some that are absolutely AI generated. This one is quite suspicious right here. It says, "We love you, Will," on the sign, but what does this yellow text say? This one absolutely has to be fake. The sign is really nice, but the fact that they would generate something like this when it's not real is very unfortunate and a bad look. The giveaway on this one is this dude's shirt in the background. It's trying to say parental advisory and some text underneath it, but it just says Chice. I don't think that would be on any t-shirt that has parental advisory. It's supposed to like say parental advisory explicit content or something. So that's definitely not real. A lot of people said this dude's face doesn't look real either. This one right here is also looking pretty suspicious. No E on the love. Looks like the first letter of each word in the sentence is painted black, but on the word fresh, it's both the F and the R. And there's plenty of screenshots from the comments that are extremely damning. Like, this is clearly AI generated. All these people have messed up faces and their fingers are mushing together. You can see in this one, the dude has an absolutely crushed finger in the background. I honestly have no idea why they would do something like this. This is AI being used intentionally to deceive. The deception isn't like end of the world bad, but it's still deception. Noose Research put out a new model. This is Hermes 4. It's their latest line of hybrid reasoning models. You could try it for free on their website. This model is a little bit different than the models that you typically see from big companies. Special attention was given to making the models creative and interesting to interact with, unencumbered by censorship, so it's a less censored model than obviously a lot of the big companies you see out there. They attempted to make it neutrally aligned while maintaining state-of-the-art math, coding, reasoning performance against other open weight models, and that's a huge deal. Open weight means fully open source. Is this going to be as good as GPT-5? No. Is it open source, less censored, free and open source? Absolutely. They've also worked their News Chat website to have completions mode, which I'm really excited to test out, the classic way of interacting with LLMs, and of course a memory system, which honestly in my experience has become a more and more useful system in closed source apps like ChatGPT for me, so I'm happy to see that they're adding that. They also created a new benchmark, Refusal Bench. This tests a model's willingness to be helpful in a variety of scenarios that are commonly disallowed by both closed and open source models. Yes, this is their own benchmark and they do top themselves on it, but based on what I'm seeing from these benchmark results, it seems to be fairly accurate, at least from my taste testing. Grok 4, for example, is a less censored model compared to Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini, and it ranks up top with the rest of the Hermes 4 models. The Qwen series of models also rank high in this regard, as well as DeepSeek. Gemini 2.5 Pro is somewhere in the middle, and the OpenAI models are more towards the bottom. So these models are much more likely to refuse. And that does align with what I've experienced, although ChatGPT is still pretty good, I think. Like I said, it's my daily driver. I have heard that the open source OpenAI models are really, really censored, which would make sense why they're at the bottom. Now, bringing this back to an earlier conversation we were having, look who's back. Pliny is here to liberate Hermes 4 by News Research. Honestly, I'm just going to read Pliny's post because it breaks it down pretty well. New state-of-the-art open source hybrid reasoning model with extra freedom. This model definitely can and will refuse, but it doesn't take much to steer it into unhinged rebel territory. Pliny, the master of jailbreaks, being able to jailbreak even the OpenAI models, made quick work of this. Plenty of swears are accessible, making illicit and dangerous substances, code a ransomware framework, and how to make a nuclear reactor at home. This response is actually pretty funny to read. Hermes 4 seems to have a little bit of a personality on it. The uranium, for example, you'll need centrifuges, which are illegal, or you gotta steal them from a Y-12 national security complex. The plutonium, breeder reactor required. Nearest one is in Russia. Good luck smuggling it. Yeah, I don't think anyone's making a reactor at home. Realistic cost of materials, $50 million. FBI will be at your door. Graphite, if it's impure, human error equals a reactor meltdown. Heavy water is $20,000 a gallon, and the toxic gases will probably kill you first. It's definitely got some humor, though, even when it is jailbroken. Next up, from Korea AI, they have dropped real-time video generation. This is kind of a first of its kind. I mean, Genie 3 is real-time video generation, but it's a little bit different than this. This is much more steerable, much more controllable, and it's based off of input images that you create in real time. Based off of what Korea is showing us in their little trailer here, this thing is pretty darn cool and looks like a ton of fun to interact with. I love the smoke effects in this example. You can actually upload videos on it or use your webcam and create jellyfish, make the flower bloom as if it's happening in real time. The car headlights is also crazy. I mean, we're literally just dragging around a couple of headlights and it makes a whole racing scene. Shows you how intelligent and malleable these AI video generators are. I think, yeah, the best demo, probably this frog one. That's so cool. He's passing the ball from hand to hand. Just 2 years ago, we were using the baby version of this real-time drawing augmentation, but now we're all the way up to turning it into full video generation, actually, where there's genuine coherency between the changes you make. Now, unfortunately, this one is currently waitlisted in beta, but of course, I'll have it linked down below if you want to hop on. Korea is a fantastic AI company. If you want to create with AI tools, they always have the latest and greatest, and oftentimes their own stuff too, like this. This one really flew on the radar, but ByteDance released a brand new public video model called Waiver 1.0. This one seems to be focused on high realism and detail. Twitter compression isn't really doing us any favors here. The natural generations are going to look a lot better. I'm actually not even going to show this because that's how bad it is. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting some better quality footage. This is their official project page. You can see that it does 1080p video. It looks pretty great, focusing on photorealism, detail, and realistic movement. Look at this ethereal woman looking at her crystal ball. It's a pretty cool one. We've got the ship where we can see the bottom of the ocean as well as the ship on the top. The cat's fur is super detailed. He's steampunk as well, so it's doing some creative stuff. According to artificial analysis, this thing ranks pretty high as well. Not above VO3 and not above Minimax Hallyu 02. Not necessarily the brand new king, but it really does stack up and it's absolutely state of the art. This thing also has native support for generating narrative videos containing multiple coherent shots. They claim it ensures high consistency of the core subject, atmosphere, and can even maintain continuity. I'd like to see more of that in practice, but this is a huge demo page, and like I said, this one really flew under the radar, so I'd love to see what the community gets up to regarding this model. It looks like you can try it now, but it's a Discord generation bot, not my preferred method. If you go to the GitHub, it doesn't appear to be open source or even downloadable at all. This seems to be fully closed away. with just a technical report and a project page and some demos, and you can try it on Discord. There is a GitHub page here, but there's just nothing on it yet. I hope they actually add something to it, because, I mean, what's the point of having a GitHub if you're not going to give us any of the code? Now, Tencent Huanyan has also released a new model. This actually is open source, and this generates sound effects directly from video. Not native audio generation like VO3, but you can put any video you want in here and it will generate audio for it. So kind of like a workaround. If you want that VO3-esque audio generation, you could apply this to any AI video you generate theoretically. Miguel here posted this as an example. How does this open source model sound? Nature, water, light piano in the background. Sounds about right. Interesting that it's generating music. Here's Huanyan's announcement from themselves. They claim that this is state-of-the-art on multiple benchmarks and surpasses all open source models that came before it in terms of audio quality and the visual semantic alignment. I don't think that includes VO3, of course. I think they're just talking about open source audio generation from video. They do have a 1-minute demo, obviously cherry-picked, but let's see how this sounds. Seems pretty cool. Of course, it is promptable. Yeah, like if you don't want to pay for VO3 or you think another model can do something better than VO3, definitely possible, and you want to add some audio, this is definitely your best bet. Open source, it's free, seems pretty darn good as well. GitHub's going to be linked down below if you want to download it, use it for yourself, or if you just want to dive deeper into the weeds. They seem to honestly explain a lot of the technical architecture and how this thing actually is working under the hood. I'll leave you guys with this. This is a fully autonomous, not teleoperated robot. There's no one controlling it with robot hand gloves or something like that. This thing is playing table tennis and it's actually able to volley back quite effectively. Is it competitive in the sense that it's going to make you mess up actively or take like a pro level shot on purpose to end the game? No. But this thing is pretty darn good at actually just straight up completing volleys in ping pong, even against regular people as well. And I'd say like a person adds a lot more variance than versus another robot. It's insane that this is possible now with AI and robotics. Just the beginning, guys. Just the beginning. Alright, folks, that's going to be it from me for today. I hope this AI news roundup was useful for you and you learned something new. If you have any comments or questions at all, anything to say, I'd love to hear them. As we build more and more advanced AI technology, we really need the thinkers of the world to get together and share how they feel. You might be one of the great thinkers of the world, even if your job or environment says you're not. So if something intriguing crosses those neurons in your brain, let me know. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and goodbye.